The E.S.S. Wellington, An Interstellar Tale by J.N. Wdowski, Chapter 10, Boarding Party. Muller observed from the bridge as the first shuttle docked alongside the Momvall ship. It found a hatchway in the midsection of the ship that was not destroyed by their strikes. The ship had lost its greenish glow. The other three shuttles remained waiting to dock to land more fleet troopers and the medical team aboard. "We are attached to their hull, suited up, depressurized, and are ready to board them," Frost replied from within his space helmet. "Switch to Basilone's helmet cam." Muller ordered Rogers. "Aye, sir." The main view switched to the fleet trooper's captain's view. His camera showed Commander Frost in his navy blue spacesuit with broad, bright yellow piping. With him were 5 of the fleet troopers in their dark, olive-green spacesuits with thick, dark blue piping. Behind them was Dr. Kumar. Her spacesuit was white with bright, thick orange piping. She held a med kit by its handle in her right gloved hand. The outer view of the shuttles switched to the center upper smaller screen above the main screen on the bridge. Basilone was holding a proton energy rifle in his dark olive-green gloved hands as he turned from those in the shuttle to the shuttle's outer hatch. Opening the hatch, he revealed they were up against the hull of the Momvall Starship and one of its outer hatches to an airlock. Basilone approached the alien hatch and knocked 4 times, paused, and then knocked twice. He turned and looked at the others in the shuttle that were waiting with him. "No one seems to be home," he stated through his helmet's microphone. "They are home. I am picking up a cluster of alien life forms deep in the still, pressurized sections of the ship." Stinval read his displays. "There's a type of lever on the hatch," Frost pointed out as he approached it. Rogers switched the main viewer to Frost's helmet cam. "Can you open their hatch?" Muller asked. "I will give it a try." Frost, with both his hands, attempted to turn the lever. It seemed stuck. "Let me give it a try." Basilone slung his weapon on his shoulder and attempted to force the manual handle to open. "I can't do it." He turned to one of his largest fleet troopers. "Tradesman, you want to put your bench presses to the test?" "Aye, Captain." Tradesman slung his weapon and approached the hatch. He took hold of the latch. They could all hear him in their helmets, and on the bridge's PA system grunting as he pulled with all his strength. It did not budge. Finally exhausted, he stopped to catch his breath. "I think we'll have to cut through," assessed Basilone. "Wait," Tradesman interrupted. "Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty." "We all tried that, Tradesman," Captain Basilone pointed out. "Perhaps it is the opposite for them?" Tradesman took hold of the handle and this time applied pressure to the right, not the left. The hatch sprung open. "Well done, trooper." Frost patted him on the shoulder as he drew his sidearm before entering the airlock. Since there was no rush of air into the depressurized shuttle, it was clear the airlock was also without atmosphere. Frost's helmet display confirmed it was a vacuum. "Let's go." He turned to the others. They all followed him into the airlock. Basilone approached the inner hatch that had a glass window to view inside the ship. He noticed that there were lights down a long, curved corridor. "I thought you said we knocked out their reactor," Basilone questioned the Wellington's bridge crew. "We did. It seems they are running on backup batteries," Stinval answered. Basilone found a single button on the bulkhead next to the inner hatch. He pressed it. Once he did, the outer hatch to the airlock closed and sealed behind them. Thick atmosphere filled the airlock. "Do not take off your helmets," Basilone warned them. "I am not reading any oxygen in their air." Reading his helmet display, Frost reported to the bridge, "He's right. No oxygen. It is a mix of hydrogen, methane, and tracing of carbon." Once the airlock was completely pressurized, the inner hatch opened on its own. Basilone unslung his weapon and took one booted step over the threshold into the ship. "According to my helmet sensors, it is cold in here. The air is thick as a New England fog. Expect to hear a foghorn." "Very poetic, Basilone," Muller responded, as the bridge crew released a much-needed chuckle to break the tension they had all been feeling. "Keep your eyes open." As the first boarding team entered the ship sensed that the airlock was empty. The inner hatch closed and the atmosphere was removed from the chamber. Their shuttle pilot broke off, allowing the second shuttle to dock, to unload 6 more fleet troopers in their dark olive-green spacesuits. Frost waited until the second team exited the airlock and joined them. Shuttle 3 and 4, stand by. He ordered the other two shuttles waiting to dock. You sure you don't want your whole team with you? Muller asked Frost. I'd rather we not risk everyone, especially not knowing what we'll encounter. Frost looked down the long, curved corridor of the ship. So where is this cluster of life readings? There should be a corridor in front of you that leads to the center of the ship. Stanval looked at an X-ray display of the Momvall ship's interior. Basilone, followed by the others, switched on his forward helmet lights. I see it. He took point and headed down the corridor deeper into the ship towards the life signs. Troopers from Shuttle 2 stay behind and hold this airlock. Frost then addressed Dr. Kumar. You should stay here with them. I think it is best I come with you. I will take up the rear. Kumar insisted, who also shared the rank of commander with Frost. Your call, Doctor. Frost looked at the closest trooper to her, Gilbert. He read the trooper's name tag on his suit. She is your responsibility. Aye, Commander. Gilbert slightly bowed his head. I'll keep her safe. 2 minutes later, Basilone's helmet sensors picked up a massive concentration of life forms ahead of them. He held up a fisted hand, stopping the small group as he reached the hatch to where the life readings were emanating from. He gestured tradesmen to position himself to cover the hatch once it was opened. Aiming his own weapon, he gave hand signals to Adams to approach the hatch. He addressed the two other troopers, wanting Gilbert to stay with the doctor. "O. Henry, Alter, once open, take point." "Aye, Captain." Both men responded, as they readied themselves to enter and secure the room. Frost drew his sidearm and aimed it at the hatch, not knowing what they would find on the other side. "Remember righty-loosey, not lefty-loosey," Basilone reminded Adams. Adams turned the handle on the hatch to the right. It opened inward. O. Henry and Alter quickly entered, securing the room. Basilone, Adams, and tradesmen all then entered, taking a forward position ahead of O. Henry and Alter. As Muller watched on the bridge's main screen from Basilone's helmet camera, the boarding party had entered a massive botanical bay with alien flora. Dr. Kumar entered the bay and began scanning the plants with her medical sensor. Interesting. She spoke into her helmet microphone. Interesting? Muller asked. Their plants take in methane and release hydrogen and carbon. She replied. Captain, there are animals in cages over here, reported tradesman who was covering Basilone's right. Basilone walked over to tradesman. Adams moved with him, securing his left. Seeing the cages, he led tradesman and Adams to the alien animals. They were in stacks of crystal boxes with holes for air. Each animal was held in what seemed to be their own 50-gallon terrarium. The animals themselves all had a greenish, slimy sheen to their skin. Except for the snake-like creatures, they all had 4 legs and 2 forward arms with simple 3-fingered hands. Their eyes were large and dark, with reflective pupils. Around their mouths they all had long, thin tentacles, like the arms of an earth octopus. On some of them, their tentacles were more like the whiskers of bottom-feeding catfish. Dr. Kumar followed them with Gilbert for her protection. She pointed her medical scanner at the alien creatures. They are breathing hydrogen and exhaling methane. Their eyes seem to be sensitive to deep reds and even cross over to seeing into infrared. Sounds like they evolved on a world that orbits a red dwarf. Along with their hydrogen-methane atmosphere, I would guess they do not see greens and blues very well, Novikov stated from his science station on the bridge. Seems so, confirmed Kumar. I have movement. Gilbert aimed his weapon to the far side of the botanical bay. At about 100 yards from him, across the beds of alien plant life, a large, dark, greenish monster stood up on its 2 legs. Gilbert could see it, raising a weapon in its arms and aiming it directly at Dr. Kumar. A bullet struck Gilbert's right arm as he stepped between the alien and Dr. Kumar. Ripping his spacesuit and the heat of the round, along with the mixture of his oxygen with the hydrogen-methane atmosphere, caused a small jet of flames to shoot out from the breach. Dropping his weapon, he instinctively began to try to pat out the fire. Kumar pulled him to the ground. She assisted in putting out the flames and began patching the rip in his spacesuit before he lost too much oxygen and passed out. Basilone, tradesman, and Adams knelt where they were and opened up, giving Kumar and Gilbert covering fire. Frost with O'Henry and Alter moved up in the center to hit the alien from a different angle. The creature screeched as it went down from the multiple hits. "Clear!" shouted Frost in his helmet microphone. Be sure to continue to Chapter 11, Momvalls.
To support the author, please like, share, comment, and subscribe.